What's up everybody, Kinetic here and welcome back to The Division. I've been inspired recently by picking up the new Gear Score 204 M44 Blueprint from the Dark Zone, available for roughly 200 to 300,000 Dark Zone credits in Dark Zone 3. This blueprint makes an amazing bolt-action rifle, and I want to talk about this rifle. I don't necessarily want this also to be about an M1A versus M44 argument, but I think it kind of goes unavoidable that I'm going to end up talking about the M1A versus sort of the M44 in different situations. But really, I'll just go ahead and kind of get this out of the way. I'll say that it really comes down to playstyle, and I'll talk more about that here soon. But actually, more specifically than simply talking about one gun versus another, I want to talk about the mods that make the M44 shine, which I think that make the most sense for this gun, because again, kind of comparing versus the M1A to the M44, the way that you would mod these guns is quite different, I think. And just for additional information, as we see the demonstrations unfold here, I'm using 4 pieces of the Sentry's Call Set and 2 pieces of Tactician's Authority. Let's go ahead and we'll take a look at the M44. I crafted about 10 of these, and half of them came out to be complete trash, and the other half came out to be okay, I guess. Here are the stats as you can see, but keep in mind that this is with the mods equipped. It's actually a mag size of only 5. And some other attributes, for example, the accuracy and stability are being affected by the mods that I have equipped. For the talents, I've got Deadly, Trained, and Prepared. And I was looking, of course, for something more like Deadly and Brutal. I would even take Reload Speed as a good talent for this gun, because even though the M44 doesn't necessarily have a bad reload speed, it's actually quite quick. If it did have the reload speed talent, I might actually think differently about which magazine type I would put in the M44, but I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. That's just something that I thought I would throw out there. Let's go ahead and we'll take a look at the mods for the M44. So this is without taking into consideration too much of the talents that would maybe roll on this gun. I think that these are overall the better mods to have for your M44. So for the optics, we want to definitely enhance the M44's strengths, I think, in its capability to deal out headshot damage. So headshot damage for the optics and crit hit chance, also as the secondary attribute. For the muzzle, I go with accuracy and crit hit chance. Accuracy has a really powerful effect on the way that your reticle moves during combat. If you highlight it, actually says how fast the reticle for this weapon changes size when fired. So the more accuracy, really the better. And then when you really get into it, this gun can thread needles with how accurate that it is. It's pretty insane. For the Underbarrel, I've got, again, accuracy, and stability isn't necessary, but it's just what happened to be the secondary attribute that came with the Underbarrel, but definitely I'm going with accuracy there. For the magazine, this is where I think the most debate will probably kick up dust here. Without the additional magazine size, I found that in my tests I was spending way too much time actually reloading this gun than I was shooting. And without the rate of fire, the gun just felt so much more sluggish than it needed to be in terms of how fast I was shooting out bullets. I don't necessarily need it to feel like an M1A, like semi-automatic that fast, but the rate of fire does so much to make it feel more powerful, more damage per second compared to the other mods that I've tried. I did try weapon damage, I did try crit hit chance, I even tried, for example, rate of fire with crit hit chance instead of magazine size, and just overall I felt like this was the best magazine type to put here in the M44. So what is the M44 actually good for? Is it kind of restricted only to being good for PvE? Are bolt action rifles just inefficient in, for example, the Dark Zone? I've heard arguments on both sides. People will swear that the M1A is the best for the Dark Zone, or that the M44 is better for the Dark Zone. I think it really comes down to playstyle more than anything. If you are, let's just put it this way, if you are the initiator of the fight, then I would say that the M44 is the better gun. If you are not looking for a fight, then the M1A is the better gun, actually, probably. but as an initiator, right? Whether you are sniping a rogue from a distance, or if you're wanting to go rogue with the M44, as you, the one with this gun, starting the fight, you win. It's the alpha and omega right there. One shot, headshot, bam, done. There wasn't even a fight because it was over in the click of the trigger. That's how powerful the M44 is, and that's how I love to play it, especially when some douchebag wants to steal my supply drop. Well, then I just go hunt his ass down and teach him a lesson with the M44. My overall feelings about the M44 is that it's a fantastic weapon for whatever your activity here in the Division. If you already own an M1A, chances are you're probably not that tempted to get the M44, but if you've got the rank, you've got the extra credits, and you want to try something a little bit different, then I would definitely recommend going ahead and getting the M44. Again, it's a very different beast, and if you love sniper rifles, I see absolutely no reason why you wouldn't want to go ahead and own both. And if you're on the fence about whether choosing the M1A or the M44 as your marksman weapon of choice, again, it comes down to your playstyle and what you do most, I think, here in the Division. If you are more of a PvP oriented player, I kind of lean a little bit more and will say that the M1A probably is the better gun. Not by a lot, but overall, the way that you can react to fights and engage in fights, the M1A is probably the better gun. But the M44 definitely handled itself very well in the Dark Zone and is superb, I think, for things like missions and incursions. And that's all I've got for you guys in today's video. The Custom M44 Blueprint, currently available for a couple more days in Dark Zone 3 for players that are Dark Zone rank 75 and have a couple 100,000 credits to spare. I think that it's a fantastic weapon. I think I've probably already said that a couple of times. I'll say it again, it's a fantastic weapon, and I think most people will definitely be pleased with their purchase of this gun. Of course, it will still be available without necessarily buying the blueprint. In patch 1.2, guns like these are going to be dropping all over the place, more than likely in both PvE and PvP activities. So if you're not really that into marksman rifles, then there's really no need to rush. You'll probably find one eventually at some point. But if you have been waiting for something like this, now is definitely the time to jump on it while it's there. I want to know what your thoughts are now down in the comment section below. What do you consider to be the better marksman rifle for which kinds of activities here in the Division? And I would also like to know from you guys if you want to see more gun reviews like this for example, blueprint guns or special high-end named weapons that are coming up in the future. I wouldn't mind putting out more videos like this. I think they're quite fun. Click the like button to support these videos here on my channel, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next video. Thanks again for watching. My name is Kinetic, and I'll see you next time.